Hi everyone, welcome to yet another SQL video. So in today's video, there's something unique. We are trying to solve the famous SQL 50 challenge in Leetcode. So I guess many of you might have heard about this particular list of programs or list of problems that is there within Leetcode. And if you solve these, then there's a high chance that you are able to solve any of the problems that's given to you in interview. So I can bet there can be many people amongst you who might have thought about starting this challenge or could have even started the challenge but have not finished it. So why don't all of us sit down together and kind of try to solve this at one go, and let's see where do that take us. All right, so let us move to the first question that I have on my list, that is recyclable and low fat products. The table that is provided is products table, and there are only three columns: product ID, low fats, and recyclable. So product ID is an integer, which is the identifier, whereas low fats and recyclable are enumerator, which can only take two categorical values. One is Y and N, which basically stands for yes and no. So the question that there is, write a solution to find the IDs of products that are both low fat and recyclable. Okay, let's do that. Select product ID from products where this should be fine because that's what they need. This is a fairly simple question. Let's try and see if there are any edge cases that is missed. No, it's accepted. Let's go ahead and submit. Cool. All right. So this is accepted. It beats only 44%, but we are not going into optimizing this query anymore. I don't think this is further optimizable anyway, but you can write down in the comments below if you think there are any other particular solutions that you have got for this particular problem, and I can go over that. All right, moving on to the next one. Find customer referee. So there's a customer table where there is ID, name, and referee ID. So name and ID of the customer who referred them. Okay. So first we have the ID of a customer, their name, and the ID of the customer who referred them. Find names of the customer that are not referred by the customer ID equals to 2. Return the result in any order. Doesn't matter. But I think the referee ID contains null. Okay. Okay, that's something that we have to understand. If I just give where the referee ID is not equals to 2, then that will skip the nulls as well. For null, we have to specify another condition. Let's see. So select name from customer where referee ID not equals to 2, or ID is null. So when there is a null condition, we cannot say equals to null. We always have to specify using is keyword. That's what I've done. Let's see. And we have included or condition here, or because we want to take both the rows where 2 is not the referee ID. So basically this, as well as we want to take all the rows where referee ID is null. So this should work fine, but let's see. Okay, this is also accepted. It beats only 5%. Again, I would like to understand what or other solutions can you find for this particular problem, and don't hesitate to put those down in the comments below. All right, moving on to the next question. Big countries. So we have world as a table, and we have name, continent, area, population, and GDP. Name is the primary key. Okay, so basically these are names of countries. Each row of this table gives information about the name of a country and the continent to which it belongs. Its area, population, and the GDP value. Okay, it has an area of at least 3 million. A country is big if it has an area of at least 3 million and it has a population of at least 25 million. Okay, write a solution to find the name, population, area of the big countries. Okay, fine. And the one thing that notice here so the one thing to notice here is that they are using at least keyword. So let's select the name, population, comma, area from countries or no, world, right? Or world where area greater than equals to 3 million and population equals to 25 million. Let's run this. Is there need to be any order? In any order. Population. It's fine, right? Population. Oh, sorry. Wrong answer. Oh, or. My bad. $25 million, right? Should work. Yep, accepted. All right, let's move on to the next question. Article views. So there's a table views and we have column names to be article ID, author ID, viewer ID and view date. There is no primary key for this table. Okay, so there's no primary key. That means there can be duplicate values. We have duplicate rows. Each rows of the table indicate that some viewer viewed an article on some date. Okay, equal author ID and viewer ID indicate the same person. Okay. So return the result table sorted by ID in ascending. Write a solution to find all the authors that viewed at least one of their own articles. One of their own articles. Okay. So basically where author ID and viewer ID is same, right? That's what it should be. So input is article ID, author ID, viewer ID. So let's say this row should be the one. So we need to print the authors. Okay. So 7 is one and 4 is another one. Okay. Got it. So select distinct author. Yeah, so we have to use distinct keyword here because if you see, there is 7 repeating one time, whereas 4 is repeating twice. That means the author ID 4 basically have seen his or her own article twice, the same date. So, but we need only distinct author ID. So I'm only only using the distinct keyword here. So from articles, no, tables views from author ID equals to viewer ID. Right? Okay, let's see. Wrong answer. Sorry. Let's see. Author ID and viewer ID is not same. Oh, I have to order it by. Is there an order mentioned? Ascending order, yes. Order by per ID AC. Oh, as ID. Should be fine. Yep, accepted. All right, let's move on. Next topic is invalid tweets. Okay, column name, tweet ID and content. Tweet ID is the primary key for this table. Content consists of characters on an American keyboard. Okay, and no other special characters. Oh, so basically we have only the characters of a keyboard and we do not have the special characters that we usually have in keyboard. Okay, so the table contains all the tweets in a social media app. Okay. Write a solution to find the IDs of the invalid tweets. Tweets is invalid if the number of characters used in the content of the tweet is strictly greater than 15. Return the result table in any order. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, let us code and more than 15 chars are here. So output would be 2. Okay, let's see. So basically we need select the tweet ID from tweets table where tweets, right? Yes, where length of content is strictly greater than 15. and we need to return the table in any order. Let's run. Length does not exist. There should be a length function. Hmm. Read ID. Is it not there in MySQL? It's there in MS SQL because there's a length function that we use. Let me try to change the platform to MS SQL Server, right? Select and let's see if that runs. Most of the cases, MySQL and MS SQL Server is pretty much similar, but let's say some of the functions can differ in terms of what is present in, let's say, one name in one particular platform might not be present in the other one with the same name. So let us try this out here. Tweet ID, right? From tweets where length of content. Yeah, I think length is here because length, see the function color changed. Let's try and see. Yep, this is working. So usually, let's say whenever you are given a coding environment in interview, let's say one particular function is not working, always try and clarify that to the interviewer that the platform that you use in your working like professional area or even in your personal laptop, it might not be exactly the same platform. So based on that, the names of the functions can differ a little bit. So let's say if something is len in MS SQL, it can be length or dot length, let's say, in that format for other platforms. So always try to convince them and tell the pseudocode and the logic. Keep that very clear. Keep your step approach very clear so that it's understandable to the interviewer as well that it's just the code might not be working just because of the way the coding pad or coding launcher is designed or the platform is designed, and they can easily understand the logic or the step-by-step procedure that you're taking. That should be helpful and that should be more than enough to qualify you for the next round. All right, so moving on. Replace employee ID with a unique identifier. Okay, let's see what that means. ID and name is the primary key. Now employee is the primary key for this table. Each row of this table contains the ID and the corresponding unique ID. Okay, so there are two tables. Unique ID of an employee in the company. Write a solution to show the unique ID of each user. If a user does not have a unique ID, replace just show null. Table in any order. So you have ID and name, and then you have ID and unique ID as well. So output should be null and then name. Okay, okay. This also should be simple enough. Let's try unique ID, comma, name from employees A join. So this is a see, you have to understand one thing. This is a join question, and you see the employees table actually has more number of rows rather than the employee uni table. So that's understandable because some of the unique IDs are null, right? So that means some of the unique IDs are missing. So unique table itself has lesser number of rows. So since that is the case, so we have to use left join or some we have to use left join when we are taking employee tables first, and let's say we'll have to do right join if we are taking employees table at the later end of the query. So I'm taking employees table at the first, so that's why I'm taking a left join, and left join with the employee uni table, employee uni B on A dot ID equals to B dot unique ID, I believe, right? Yes. So that means this will come in. I think this should be fine. This should be B dot unique ID, and you can just rename it as unique ID. Shouldn't you don't have to specify B dot unique ID here because there's only one unique ID column in both the tables. So it will automatically take the column from B table. But anyway, it's to be on the safer side, you could just mention this and take an alias. Okay, so that's it. I think it should do. Let's check. Wrong answer. Okay. One second. Sorry. 1, 7, 11, 90, 30. 3, 11, and 90. Hmm. ID. Oh, sorry. This is ID, not unique ID. Unique ID is the corresponding column, right? And you have to match based on the column ID. Sorry, my bad. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Product sales analysis. So sales table is the primary key combination of columns. So sale ID, product ID, year, quantity, and price. Okay. Is the primary key combination of columns with unique values of this table. Product ID is a foreign key to product table, and each row of this table shows a cell on the product ID in a certain year. Note that the price is per unit. Acha, price is per unit. So it's a MRP basically. It's not the total sale that happened. Okay, so to get the total sale, we might have to multiply quantity into price, right? Okay, so product is there, table, there's sales, and there is product ID, product name. Okay, what do I need? Write a solution to report the product name, year, and price for each of the sale ID in the sales table. For each of the sales table, sale ID, we have to write the product name, years, and the price. So can I assume that cell ID has only one product ID? uh, each sale ID. One has only one. Product ID, product ID. Okay. Year and price. Right? Okay. So one cell ID has only one product ID. So all right, fine. Then we can just go ahead with that. Assumption. Select. We need a product ID, comma, year and price from sales table and product table. No, we need product name, right? Hmm. From sales A, join products product B on A dot product ID, B dot product ID. Now, ideally, let's say sales table would be having higher number of columns, higher number of rows. But product table is a dimension table which ideally should have all the products listed within it. So that's why any product that let's say is there in sales and not in dimension, that chance is very less. So I'm just doing an inner join here. Uh, Having the understanding that the product taxonomy is correctly pointed out in the product table. So let's run this and check. Yep. So for this particular scenario, since these are dummy tables, this is working. But let's say if you are working in production, actually using proper sales and product table, there you might have to join based on the understanding and use case. You have to use either inner join or left or right. Yeah, see, the time limit itself is exceeded. So I have to check. Okay, 9 out of 13 test cases passed. Time limit exceeded, right? Let's go to the description once again. So write a solution to report the product name, year, and price for each sale ID in the sales table. Mm, Time limit exceeded. What can I do? I can just product and product should be passed. If I do a left join, then it's just going to increase the length of the table. So let's try to see what else can be done. Mm, is there duplicates in the row? Nope. But it seems fine. Product ID is product ID. So where can time limit exceeds come is, let's say if you're joining, doing left join, or you're selecting star, these are the areas where the machine cannot process heavy mechanisms, or that has to process too many rows. Right now, it is not parsing too many rows, so I'm just trying to figure out. So this is running here, but 11 out of 13 test cases passed. Okay. Output. There's something wrong. Apple. Okay. Apple, Nokia, Nokia. Okay, let's try this. Both the Nokias have come up. Oh, okay. So you do not need distinct. That's fine. If I do not need distinct, then just repeat, right? Hmm. I think I have to order it by product name and then year. See. 12 out of 13. Okay. What is missing? Product ID. 100, 200, 300. Nokia, Apple. And Nokia, Apple, Samsung. No, Nokia, Nokia, Apple, Apple. Year. Okay. That's repeating, right? Yeah, so that will repeat. 100 and 100. 100 will be mapped twice. Year will be twice. Price will be twice. And then same for 200 will be twice. These two. Okay, so again, I'm not entirely sure what is wrong here. So I'm just, for the time being, I'm just going to pass to the next question. I think 12 out of 13 test cases passed. I have to go ahead and check some particular use cases for which this might not be working. But I believe this is a, you know, good enough solution for you to go on and write down in your interviews. So for the time being, let us move on to the next question. So customer who visited but did not make any transaction. Okay, yeah, this is a very, very famous question. Let me tell you, this is a question that I at least have got asked in interviews multiple times, in many other interviews. So I can tell you that this is a very famous question. So let's try to solve this. Customer who visited but did not make any transaction, right? So visits is one, visit ID and customer ID is there. And then transaction is transaction ID, visit ID, and amount. So customers, only those customers are there who have made a visit, right? That's understandable because that's the table that has been given to you. Now the column that is there is visit IDs are there, but I have to find out the customers who have not made any purchase, but they have visited. So that means that customer IDs, or let's say visit IDs in this table will be higher than the visit IDs present in this table. Why? Because there will be more number of visits than than the number of transactions, right? So let's do a left join then. Select customer ID. Do I need to only find out the customer ID? Customer ID and count number of transactions. What? Sorry, I didn't understand. Visit ID is a column with unique values for this table. Contains information who visited the mall. Write a solution to find the IDs of users visited without making any transactions and number of times they made these type of visits. Okay, so number of times, count number of no, this is not transaction. I think count number of visits. But anyway, I have to match the output, I have to give the count number of transactions itself. Hmm. um, so if we have to do a left join, transactions B on A dot visit ID B dot visit ID, where um E dot visit ID is null. No. So basically these will match and then B dot visit ID would be null. Exactly. Sorry. This is a left join, right? So the right table will have some null values in the column. That's what is supposed to do. Now we have to group by customer ID. And this will be A dot visits ID to count number of transactions. Let's try. See. Runtime error. Okay. Invalid column name. Oh, visit is. Oh, sorry. Accepted. Let's submit and check how many test cases pass. Should pass everything. Yes. Okay. So I hope you understand, since we have to figure out only the customers who have not made any transactions. So we have to pick out the null conditions from the left join or from the right table. Okay. Pricing temperature. Weather is a table. This ID, record date, temperature. ID is a column with unique values for this table. There are no different rows with the same record date. Okay, so one date has only one record. This table contains information about the temperature on a certain day. Write a solution to find all the dates or ID with higher temperatures compared to its previous dates. Okay, easy enough. There's only one table, so you have to select the dates, right? You have to select all the dates ID. Dates ID. Okay, basically ID. Okay, we have to check the ID from weather. Uh, okay, so we have to do ID, then we have to do from weather. I don't think we need anything else. So we just need where the temperature is lesser. The table contains information higher temperatures compared to its previous day. Temperature is greater than lag of temperature temperature comma 1. Null is fine. Over just order by date or record date. right? This should be fine. Select ID where temperature is actually greater. So what the lag column will do, lag is another column that will get created. It will give you the lagged value of the temperature column in the newly created column, but by just one row. So that's what I've done. I have taken lag of temperature by one row, and in case of a default value, if there is no previous column, then it will take null, and then over order by record date, and record date in that to ascending order. Ascending order, and then you can just check if wherever the IDs are having the temperature greater than this. Sorry, I have temperature by mistake. We are in the select or order by clause. Okay, so where won't take this? So I have to create a separate column and I have to create a CT most likely. So I have to take temperature and I have to take lag of temperature as, let's say, lag temp, right? From weather. And let's take this, create a CT. Then let's take out select ID from CT where temp is greater than lag temp. Is it strictly greater than or with higher temperatures compared to previous day? Yes, strictly greater than mostly. Let's try this. Invalid column name temp. Oh, sorry, temperature. Wrong answer. What happened? Expected is 0. So input is 3. This is null and then 3. So 2 would be the case. But ID is nothing. Why is that? With CT as select ID, comma temperature, lag temperature 1, comma null over order by record date ascending as lag temp from weather, select ID. Okay, let me try a hack here. Let me comment this out and try to run the lag column just to check, let's say in MS SQL, what is the syntax or if there's something else that we need to see. So this is null 10, 25, 20. So my expected output should be 2 and 4, right? Yeah. So is it coming? Should be, right? So lag is taking directly. Let's run it and see. So okay, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. This is getting taken correctly. Then here, what is the problem? Record date is ascending order by record date. Select ID from CTE, where temperature greater than lag temp. 13 out of 15 test cases passed. This one is not passing for some reason. Why is that? Temperature 1. Oh, do I need to do ID? No, but this is not coming. Expected nothing. Where temperature is greater than lag temp, right? So that is correct. That should be the case. Not able to understand. In my understanding, see, ID number 2, which has Oh, oh, okay. Only yesterday. Got it. We have to take only yesterday. So order date from temperature greater than lag temp. Hmm. Hmm. So what I can do, what is coming to my mind right now, I can create a separate date column, date table, and I can join it. So I have all the record dates within, and then whatever date data has missing, that will just give me null. So I can create that, or lag temp. Okay, or I can do something else. Just create a lag of date itself as well, right? Record date. I can do order by ID, right? Lag date from weather where temperature greater than lag temp and record date minus lag date or date diff. Sorry. Let's run and see. Three arguments. Oh, days. Is it days or day? Probably it is day. Invalid column name, record date. Okay, I have to take the record date as well. Here, let's take the record date. So, guys, sorry for these confusions in naming and stuff. I think the logic should be fine whenever you are in any interview. But in this case, since we are doing, the SQL coding in a particular platform, so we have to follow all the rules within the platform. That's why it's taking slightly more time. But I think in terms of writing the pseudocode or at least running the code to check, step by step, running it, kind of giving it a dry run should be enough for the interviews, most of the interviews at least. Okay, let's come back. Case one, day record date. Lag date, right? CP1, this is actually fine. Date diff day, comma, record date, comma, lag date equals to 1. Oh, I think I have to change this. Let's try this. I think this is the previous date and open date. Yep. Sorry. A record date, something which is at the first we weather is 15 and 16. Okay. Yesterday. And in ascending order, right? That's what I've taken. Lag temperature 1, lag record date 1, over order by ID. Ah, okay. To order by record date itself. Let's see if it runs. Yep, it is accepted. Okay, fine. So basically, since the IDs were swapped, let's say the next day was at ID 1 and the previous day was at ID 2. That's why ID, like ordering by ID was not working. So you have like looking at the output and the expected output, you have to change your query accordingly. I don't have to tell you that, but just reiterating. Okay, so average time of process per machine. Activity, column name, machine ID, process ID, activity type, and timestamp. Let's do that. Let's see. Okay, there's a machine ID table shows user activities for a factory website. Okay. There is a factory website, several machines running with same number of processes. Write a solution to find the average time each machine takes to complete a process. Average time. Okay. Okay, I have to look at the end timestamp minus the start timestamp, and the average time is total time to complete the process divided by the number of processes that were run. Let's see. So machine ID these many, process IDs these many. So each machine can have multiple processes. There's start and end, start and end. So timestamp these two. And then you have to machine ID is this, processing time is this. How is this? So there end minus start is the total time taken for this particular process. And then oh, at a machine level, what is the average? Is it? Yeah, right. End time and then average is calculated based on the complete every process on the machine divided by the number of processes that were run. Okay, that makes sense. Let's do this then. So here comes the magic of aggregation. Let's look at that. So since we have start and end as two activity types, we have to make a subtraction between the two. So we have to probably take these and at a like pivot it at a column level. Right now it's at a row level. We have to pivot it at a column level. Let's do that first. So we need CTs for this. Let's start with select machine ID, process ID. Yep. And then we have to case when activity type equals to start, then timestamp else 0 as yep, 0 should do fine. This is timestamp only, right? So this is an integer basically. Timestamp is integer. Timestamp is float, so that's fine. That'll work just fine. Else 0 end as start activity, right? So we have to take, since we have to take the difference between the two, we can just do it directly. So let's take that. So end as end minus same, just take this whole line. When the activities end, then you create, then take timestamp else end, and that's your overall. So you have to do a minus. No, you cannot do a minus at the point because right now the data would be at machine and process and activity level. Machine process activity level. So that's why if you, let's say, if you are pivoting this column, right? So start will come here and let's say end will come somewhere here, and then timestamp of start will come in this row and end timestamp will come in the next row. Because of that, if you're doing a minus or subtraction at the first level itself, it won't show you anything. So it will just take you directly the timestamp, start timestamp versus the end timestamp. It won't give you the correct subtraction or the time needed to complete the process. So that's why you have to do this subtraction at the next level or the next step. First, just create these two columns as start and end as, let's say, end, right? That's it. That's what you need to do. Just do a comma. We can do a sum of case when actually. That's completely fine. And that is not only fine, we need to do it. I'll tell you why in some time, because we need to bring start and end at the same level, at the same row. So to do that, we have to do some aggregation. And aggregation will happen at machine ID and process ID level, right? Make sense? All right. So let's do that from activity, right? And that's it. That's all you need. You need to group it by, there's no where condition here anywhere. So you can just directly group by the two columns that is available that are non-aggregated. Now you have to do a minus or subtraction between the two to get the total time consumed column, right? So you take machine ID. Now you need everything at a machine ID level, right? So you need a sum is done. So you need a subtraction of end minus start as time consumed, let's say. Time consumed from, so you need another CT here. Again, I'll tell you why. So with CT2 as, so select machine IDs and n minus start is your time consumed, right? And this is right now is at machine ID and process ID level, right? Making sense? Okay. So n minus start is done. So once you do that, then you need to do a sum of these two, right? Once you do this and you get a count of the process ID. Actually, you don't need another CT. You can just do the same in this particular query itself. Let me just try running that. Select machine ID. Machine ID is your aggregator column, and then you have sorry. You don't need to name this column. Let's do count of process ID. And that's it. Right now, it will be done at machine level. Count of process IDs would be, no, I have to do count of distinct process ID. Distinct process ID, sum would be sum of end minus start, right? So this is already summed at process ID level, right? Machine ID and process ID level. So this is grouped by 0, 0 and then 0, 1 at that level. So you already are at that level. The 0, 0 is not repeating twice. 0, 1 is not repeating twice. It's at that level already. So you have to select machine ID and then you have to do sum of end minus start by count of, even if you don't give distinct, that is fine. Count of process ID, right? That's at machine ID level. From CTE, where? No, not where. You have to do group by. Group by machine ID. That's it. It should do the trick. I think it should do. Machine ID, and do I need to order it by something? Processing, it should have the machine ID along with the average time of the processing time. It should be rounded to 3 decimal places. Okay. So this is the catch. So now you have to do sum of end minus start. We have already done that. Now let's convert it into float, right? We can do that just by multiplying it with 1.000. Let's try that. Or just 1.0 for that matter. Let's see if it gives us the result. If not, we'll see. So first of all, actually, we have to do this at a numerator and denominator level separately. So count of process ID multiplied by 1.0 should be fine, right? Yeah, let's try and run this. And then we'll do a round function. Right now, let's see incorrect syntax near keyword end. Okay, I have to give something. Because this is a keyword, so it's taking that. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, okay. I've given processing time. I have to give processing time. As processing time. What's the name of the column? Let's run and see. Okay, submit. 1 out of 8. Oh my God, that's bad. Output is okay. I have to round it. So as I told you, let's round this to 3. Okay. So you have to submit. Let's check. This is working fine. Let's submit and check. Yep. Okay, so this is accepted. Let's move on to the next one. Employee bonus. I have an employee table, employee ID, name, supervisor, and salary. Okay. Bonus is employee ID and bonus. Okay. So write a solution to report the name and the bonus amount for each employee with a bonus less than 1,000 rupees. Okay. These are the ones. 2 and 4 are the ones who have got bonus less than 1,000. Oh, bonus table is only given to 2 and 4, so only 2 will be. Oh, no, 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 no. So Brad and John did not get any bonus altogether. So they will be also included in the output. Okay, that makes sense. Let's select then name and bonus, right? So name and bonus from employee join, left join. Bonus B, employee on A dot empid is to P dot empid. Okay, empid, and then bonus is less than, and bonus. Okay, I have to do a sub clause here. I'll tell you why. Bonus is less than 500 or 1,000, strictly less than 1,000, or B dot bonus, right? Or bonus is fine, or bonus is null. Should be fine. Let's check. Either of these are fine. Wrong answer, okay. Why? Thomas is null. Thomas, who's Thomas? Thomas is 4,000. Their employee ID is there. And bonus is less than 1,000. Thomas is not null, right? Why is Thomas there? E dot employee ID 24 Darren Thomas, and their bonuses are 502,000. So I've only taken the bonus which is less than 1,000. Whenever I'm left joining, so bonus is coming in here 502,000, null null, right? Null is taken, 500 is taken. Thomas shouldn't be null in the first place. Why is that the case? Left join. Bonus B, employee ID, B, employee ID. Yeah, let's do this. 1 second. Let me just check this. Let me just run this and check. Why is Thomas coming as null? So employee Thomas is 2,000, right? Yes. This is the output. Mm-hmm. Randy, where I think this should run. Let's check. Yep. So what I did earlier, I just gave the condition within the join condition itself. So that's why it was not working. This should work. Yep. This is accepted. So let's do the last one. Students and examinations. And then after doing this, we will count how many problems were we able to solve. Students and examination. Students is student ID and student name, and subject is subject name. Okay, that's it. And examination has student ID and subject name. So there are 3 tables. Write a solution to find the number of times each student attended each exam. Student ID and subject name. Okay. Return the result table ordered by student ID and the subject name. The result format is in the following example. Student ID, student name, there is subject name, and there is student ID and subject name. So combination of both. Output should be student ID, student name, subject name, and attended exam. Because this particular student ID has given math twice, thrice, yeah, math thrice, and physics twice, and so on and so forth. Okay, okay, got it, got it, got it. So I need all the 4: student ID, name, subject name, and attended exams. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I think I haven't written this one particular problem down. I usually what I do, I actually write step by step in my copy, and then I implement the code. I thought this will be easier versions. That's why I haven't done it. But there's a lesson right now. Always break down concepts into smaller parts and then try to execute your code. I haven't done that for this one particularly. Let's do it right now. So what do we need to do here? So we need to do a cross join. We need to create all the combinations. So I'll tell you the student ID 6. They need to have all the subjects and we have to have the 0 number or 0 attended exams alongside all the subject names. But if those are not even created, the mapping is not done yet. We cannot paint the number 0, right? So first we have to create that. Let's do that. So let's create a cross join of student and subjects. And then we already have the student name and subject name of the examinations they have given already. And CTE2 would be select student ID, comma, student name, comma, subject name, or just student ID and subject name is fine. From students cross join subjects. So if you just run this particular area of the code, right? So let's just comment everything out. 1 second. First, let me comment these out and run the first portion of the code. We show you and then we can see. So output is student Alex attended exams is 0. Student ID Alice 6 to Bob. No, we need the subject names as well, right? This is wrong. That's fine. What happened? Oh, okay, this will be E. Always write your steps down in a copy or notebook or whatever you prefer, right? That's the lesson that I'm taking from this problem. Now we have to do a CTE of these. Let's just uncomment this one. Select student ID subject from students. Let's comment this particular area. Student ID subject name from students, cross join subjects. So we have everything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's something that we have, 4 cross 3. That's what we need. Now we will use this as a left table. Now select student ID. That will be cd2 or b dot or a dot student ID, a dot student name, a dot subject name, sorry, equals to b dot student ID and a dot student name subject name ASC. Let's submit this. So that was it for today. So I think we have solved pretty good number of problems here. Let's just check how many problems did we solve. Can we check it? Yep. There's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11 problems. Okay, not bad. I would have expected it to be a bit more, but okay, not bad for starting. Let's meet you in the next video. Till then, keep practicing.